Hello there, my name's Phil Taylor, and I've recently joined the group of Cal and Ileana. I'm going to be demonstrating role-based permissions. As you can see, I've logged in with a user ID called SuperAcme. We created SuperAcme to be the main system administrator user ID. This user ID has permission to do pretty much anything. My approach today will be that I will be proxying to other users in the system to demonstrate their permissions. And I'll show a little bit of how it was set up and how to maintain some of these permissions. As you can see, I've set up a few admin favorites under SuperAcme. What I'd like to do now is I'm going to go over to company information and just show a few of the employees we're going to be working with in this demonstration. I've located Marius Pontmercy. Marius is an analyst in human resources, and reporting to Marius is our very familiar employee, Julianne France. Above Marius is an existing group that is managed by Jean-Pierre Moulin. We're going to deal with these three individuals to demonstrate some of the security that we've implemented. I'd like to demonstrate first the power user. I'm going to go to permission groups here. And show you all the groups we have in the system. Permission groups can be used either to be a group of people that are going to be granted permission or a group of people that are the target of that permission. So the requirements for power user was that you'd have pretty much administrator type access, read-write permissions on all the employees' information, but only for your legal entity. So we've created groups called Power France, Power Canada, Power Australia. So essentially what we need to do to grant, say, Marius the Power France access is to click on the group, click on here, and knowing that Marius is 186, which we've already granted him, he is now in this group. And we say done. For the purposes of this demo, we have defined the Power France group to be able to access anybody in a particular country rather than legal entity. This allows us to take advantage of all the employees in the system. The newly legal entity, Acme France, only has a couple employees. So if we look down here, we see that the France employees, that is any employee based in France, has this list. We will note the employee Antoine Fetterman. As an example of an employee that's not in France, we'll note the employee Sean Arnold. We will now proxy to Marius. The system is now acting as if we're logged on as Marius Pontmercy, who we've just described as a France power user. We will now go to Fetterman in France and see what we can see. We've located Antoine Fetterman, and we're going to have a look at his employment information. We can see that we have access to the edit and update employee records for Antoine. Let's now look for Sean Arnold, who is in the United States. We are a power user, so we have view access to much of the information an ordinary employee wouldn't have. So we're going to go to employment information. And what you'll see is that we can see pretty much anything that we saw for the French employees, but look, no edit, okay? Although this button exists, you'll find that it actually doesn't allow you to do anything. We've removed Marius from the Power France group to continue with our demonstration. Only Alain Pigot exists now. We've now proxied to our employee, Julian France. Julian is an individual contributor. He doesn't have anybody reporting to him, and the only access he has is as an employee. What we'd like to do is click on his employee profile, and you can see that he can edit his profile. So why don't we add a photo for Julian? We say edit profile photo. We've selected a photo for Julian, and now we've completed that. We can see Julian can see his citizenship and his business email. Julian cannot create a leave request. We're now going to proxy to a manager role. Marius is the manager of Julian, and we have now located Marius's employee org chart here, and as you can see, we're proxied as Marius. What we'd like to do is go down to Julian's record, though, because we're his manager. And let's go to employment information. And what I'd like to do is do the update employee records. And we can see that we can create a leave of absence. Okay. We can change other employment information, but we cannot change compensation information. We left spot bonus because we thought that was sort of outside the main compensation. Let's now go to analytics and see what we can run as a manager. We can see as a manager we have very little access to reports. We can run ad hoc reports, though. A manager cannot create ad hoc reports, but can run ad hoc reports. This report magically appeared because we went back and we shared it from another user. So you can only run the reports that already exist and that somebody has shared with you. We are now back logged in as Super Acme, and we're not proxied anymore. We've come to Julian France's record, and we've opened up the field department, which is, as per this case study, normally invisible and not turned on, and assigned him to the talent management group. This is to demonstrate the junior HR rep. His position is very recent, and he's in the talent management group. So when we go back to the groupings, we should see that he should appear in this group, the junior HR rep. We're back at the home, and we are going to manage permission groups. We can now see that Julian, being part of the talent group, talent department, is now in this group. We have proxied over to Julian, and we have attempted to update Alain Bagot, who is in France. And you can see that Julian now has access because Julian has the junior HR rep. We're now at the record of Sean Arnold. Sean Arnold is not from France. We are still proxied as Julian. So if we come here, we can see we can only have the basic visibility of his public profile. The senior HR rep are members of the talent department and have a date of position prior to the 31st of December 1999. We're not demonstrating someone from here, but they essentially have the same access as the junior, but for all people. We've now proxied in as Dora Zamora. She's an executive, and executives have the same rights as managers, as well as they can execute all reports. So we'll really just show their report here. So if we go to analytics, we see we have the full suite of analytics. If we go to reporting, ad hoc reports, we will see that they'll be able to manage, create, uploads. They have the full reporting suite. Well, thank you very much for viewing our configuration. On behalf of Cal and Ileana, we'd like to all thank you for teaching this course, and we certainly got a lot out of it, and this was a very interesting case study that we got to do.